Looking for a franchise signal caller, the Titans took a second swing at a Project QB in 23, selecting Will Levis out of Kentucky. With Tannehill going down and Willis proving he's Malik Willis, the Titans got the project going early, starting Levis in Week 8. The aggression and splash plays that made people think he was a first-rounder in college continued, bringing a spark to an otherwise stumbling offense. However, the full picture is much more murky, full of shaky accuracy and consistent issues with ball security. Let's start with what created those splash plays, the bazooka arm. No blade of grass can be left uncovered because he'll turn a big play at a moment's notice. The Titans set up a play action here to create extra blockers behind a porous line and take advantage of that cannon. Levis is booting right to make it look like a flood concept, only to have Nick Westbrook-Ikhine hit the aggressive All-Pro Jesse Bates with the post corner, taking advantage of the wide open side of the field. Reading the concept work, watch the arm, launching this 50 yards with touch, cross field, while getting lit up. Hey, try stopping net. Another layer of trickery is added again by splitting Levis out wide in the Wildcat formation, only to receive the ball on the reverse for a launch. The commotion creates all sorts of confusion for the Jaguars, and Levis has a clean pocket to launch from with his favorite target a step behind. A flick of the wrist puts this 50+, and Nuke remains an elite tracker to bring in 6. It wasn't all vertical shots. Levis showed the arm strength and torque to make difficult passes to the intermediate, hitting guys with good timing, even into some tough windows. The out holds the corner flat in cover 2, so Levis rips this between him and the safety. Perfect placement. Attacking the middle of the field this time, Levis is going to throw another dart off play action. The linebacker levels are pulled up by the fake, and Chris Moore has built up momentum off the motion, turning the corner into a twirl and opening a strike. Levis reads it well, delivering a flat bullet past the outstretched hand of the underrated Frankie Louvu. More play action again here, and more middle field snipes. The underneath level is distracted by the fake, and the safety shifts slightly to the trip side, so Levis knows the skinny post is open, firing a beauty under pressure to DeAndre Hopkins. And attacking the cover 6, Levis shows that rifle with touch to find the narrowest of windows. Seeing the corner stay flat to take the out, Levis goes for the shot into the cover 2 boundary window, dropping in a beauty with pace and finesse while getting his head taken off. These touch passes were frequent too, not just showing an ability to drill guys, but place it over defenders to various depths. With 8 man in protection, Levis is afforded time and space to operate, and spots nobody has tagged Treylon Burks in the spot drop cover 3, throwing a beauty over the underneath level to find him on the boundary. Here, he's going to the same window but out of a different concept, using the post to clear out the deep and the back to hold the flat, aiming for the intermediate on the sail route. Once he clears the middle backer, Levis winds up and drops another dime, this time for Westbrook-Ikhine. Aiming cross boundary this time, watch the touch to find a similar gap on the near side. It's man coverage this time, so the window is more defined, but he can't step in with the muddy pocket, flicking this with perfect pace and touch to Kyle Phillips. So the arm talent is great, but what made Levis jump on the scene is his willingness to use it, the aggressiveness to continue to take shots, and the bravery to stand in amongst the chaos behind a bad offensive line and try to take it to the defense. Even with the Falcons sitting back in too high, Nuke and Will can attack it. Levis pump fakes in sync with his double move to freeze the safety, then immediately launches deep. It's a little short, but a chasm has been created, and Hopkins still has plenty of speed to make it to the end zone. And from that same game, he sees Nuke in one-on-one coverage, and he's going straight there. DeAndre gets a, favorable call from the refs, and it's another 6 points. The aggression remained, even under pressure, with Levis too willing to take a hit to create a play. The fullback is going to leak out on a fade route off the play action, but the leaky Titans line lets pressure off the blind side and ready to hit the rookie. There's no backing down, and there's definitely a little bit of luck involved, but tremendous bravery amongst the pressure. There are some really promising signs coming from all this aggression, with Levis flashing some great anticipation shots, although the overall reading remains cloudy. Again, using the play action, the Titans look to take a deep shot early, having noticed a spot open on tape. The safeties and corners invert to try to sit on the deep curls, but this opens up a spot to the post for Burks, with Levis throwing early to find the gap between the dropping corners. Beautiful. Running a dagger concept here against Pittsburgh, the deep out is going to open up the intermediate route for the dig, and Levis shows great timing. The ball's coming out of his hands at the cut, a little high, but finding his man. And watch the speed here to react to the safety flying downhill off the play action. Will quickly spots the gap, firing a ball to the dig with immediacy. Lastly, Levis shows plus movement and an ability to escape and create, although his willingness for contact gets him in trouble here too. The left side is completely overrun, but Levis somehow absorbs the hit from a raging Bradley Chubb, escaping the pocket to attack upfield and even attempting to truck the defensive back before being brought down for a stop. Hey, that's an absolutely wild thing to try as a QB. With the pocket collapsing around him again, Levis spots daylight and goes for the scamper. And on third down, you know he's gonna go for it, putting his body on the line for the first, taking a thunderous hit. And this style did catch up to him, suffering from 2 high ankle sprains that eventually ended his season. The movement's fantastic, but look, you gotta learn to protect yourself, Rook. You in the pros now. Now for the bad stuff. And firstly, we need to start with this offense. Throughout his rookie year, Tennessee ran a rather simplified system containing a lot of screens, quick hitters, and play-action shots, not requiring much advanced processing from the young QB. Now, some of this was a function of the dreadful offensive line he was forced in front of, and adapting to the unexpected start midway through the season. However, we got glimpses of why this was the case. When Levis was allowed to expand, his reading became incredibly erratic, struggling to move between progressions and often throwing late to concepts, leaving the ball behind receivers. There's no work here between progressions, staying locked to the go route, and missing the open crosser. The ball's long, and man, he's lucky after throwing this into double coverage. The Titans set up another big play action 2-man route concept, but again, Levis has a magnet eye for the deep shot. 2 Colts defenders bracket Chris Moore, and this opens up a wide open space for the over route. But Levis never spots it, waiting before launching one up anyway. It's an impressive ball and arm strength, but it's too far long for Moore. The NFL requires precise timing to operate, and Levis's clock was too slow, taking far too long to process before he would release. It's a nice pocket movement here against the Panthers, but look how long this takes him to get to his checkdown. What could have been valuable yards ends up as an incomplete pass. These NFL DBs are just too quick, young man. And when the coverage wasn't particularly tight, the ball still regularly found the back hip of the man, stunting yak ability. Levis's wayward mechanics and trust in his strength often left him throwing deep with only his arm, and this meant many aggressive connections simply sailed off target and incomplete. Hop has got to step on his man here on the third down, but Levis waits a beat, losing the ability to step into the throw and having to throw this with just his arm, sailing this to the sideline. And here against Atlanta, it's more poor location. Burks is doubled, but actually does a nice job to spin the safety and get open breaking across the field. But Levis's location is off, throwing this long and allowing the DBs into the play for a breakup. Combine over-aggression, late reading, and inconsistent placement, and you'll get ball security issues too. Now, a lot of this is Levis, but again, the poor protection doesn't help, allowing way too many hits on a rookie QB. Levis recorded 7 fumbles in just 9 games and cannot afford to be hanging the ball low when the rush is coming in. That will get you benched, Rook. So, look, the flashes are there, but there's far too much inconsistency, shrouded behind intentionally limited play calling and unintentional poor level talent acquisition. It's hard to ask any rookie to come in and play mid-season, especially behind a bad line, but Levis contributed to these mistakes through poor reading and turnover woes. The flashes are enough to ignite a wanting franchise, but his problems from college continue to the NFL, and that makes it hard to see him panning out long term. However, a new left tackle should certainly help, and the addition of Calvin Ridley gives him 2 pairs of hands he can trust. So let's see how Levis looks with a fair shot at playing in the league.